Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 58. NFL, you have a Chiefs problem.
You got a little problem.
Oh, I got a big problem, Jerry.
So guys, in today's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup, as I'm sure many of us or most of us are aware of at this point, the NFL might be playing favorites with the Chiefs. But also, as you know by now, I'm not here to blackpill any of you and tell you guys like you have to stop watching football and that it's all scripted and you're brainwashed if you keep watching it, etc., etc. I still love watching football and sports in general.
It's my quarterback.
So I do plan to make this fun, while also addressing all sides of the issue/debate. I will also be sharing an AJ Brown clip about the book that he was reading that went viral because of him, and why this inspires me as an author of my own book. I also have a very powerful clip from someone who follows me as well. That's to do with this concept of duality, as I'm always talking about, and why it's our choice whether we're focusing on the good or the bad in the world.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Clint Eastwood.
I also have some super powerful Big Sean clips talking about manifestation, from when he went on Lewis Howe's podcast as well as Jay Shetty's podcast, I think it was like a week or two ago. And I may also have a clip talking about the dunk contest and ways to improve it, but like I might be saving that for next week possibly, depending on like how much time I have in this episode. But anyways, without further ado, let's dive deeper now. Rabbit hole time, let's go.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know, that must mean now subscribe to the channel so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through by Jared Weiss. All links purchased are on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. It's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me, as always, and the support is very much appreciated. Now, let's get right into it. Now look, a ton of conspiracies are true, and have been proven to be true, but just be careful with believing everything that someone says to be true, because if you don't believe them, you're brainwashed. I do believe direction-wise, yes, most conspiracies do turn out to be true, but this also doesn't mean that every single one that someone puts out is true.
Liar, liar, plants for hire.
And look, I don't want to discourage anyone from asking questions and from empowering themselves, but it's like, if you're only watching football just for the sake of telling everyone how scripted it is, without any legitimate hard evidence, how much fun could you possibly have? And there was a period of time where I may have done this myself.
I know from experience, dude.
Because, as I spoke about during last week's video, when you first dive into this whole world of truth-seeking, you get super excited, you want to tell everyone about all the lies, you want to expose all the corruption, but this is where having balance comes in. I was watching an Aubrey Marcus podcast a while ago, and he was saying how it can be a lot of fun to be passionate about sports or about a sports team, whether as a player or as a fan. Now look, we should be giving most of our energy towards ourselves, towards our goals, towards our dreams, towards our family and friends, but as I keep saying, and as I want to emphasize, there's nothing wrong with loving or being passionate about a sports team too, as long as doing that doesn't take over your life.
The Buckner game? I thought you took it away from me. I did!
I am the Red Sox.
You're not the Red
I am
Sox.
the Red Sox.
And doesn't stop you from doing all the things that you know like you should be doing. Plus, if you're like me, you can actually watch the athletes, you can observe their work ethic, you can hear some of their inspirational quotes, and this can get you hyped up, whether as an athlete or whether achieving any of your goals, because sports, as I've said in the past, are a metaphor for life in so many ways. So like, I'm not just watching solely for fun and admiration, although of course those things are important too, but I'm also seeing how I can take things from them as an athlete and towards achieving my own goals. Not modeling my lifestyle after theirs, once again to be clear. I'm not advising anyone to model your lifestyle after the vast majority of these famous people, but like, you can be learning from them, and you should be. Now, when it comes to the NFL and the Chiefs, for all the people who are associated with the league who are trying to tell you that the refs or the league aren't at the very least favoring the Chiefs, it's like the same people who are trying to tell you that Joe Biden was totally fine, totally healthy, and that he got the most votes ever.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him...
I mean, did any of us actually believe that? Sometimes we do just have to believe our own eyes and trust our own senses. And the NFL either has to come clean on this or make a change. Also, just a reminder, you guys, I do actually have a video from several months ago talking about whether or not games are fixed or scripted, etc. But look, we know that games have been rigged before. That's not news to us. There was the whole Tim Donaghy situation, of course, in the NBA. There was the whole Chicago Black Sox scandal. So this has been a thing for a while. But I lean more towards what Evan Turner and Gilbert Arenas said on his podcast, I think it was like last year, which is that when you have a team who's so heavily favored, you have to win by 15 just to win by 1.
So Elden's like, you know we're going to have to win by 15 just to win by 1. So I'm like, what you mean? He's like, bro, this is the NBA, it's entertainment. Like, LeBron is in the Heat or waiting. Would you rather watch the Celtics or the Sixers play the Heat?
As opposed to this idea of it if it all just being this one giant script and everyone's acting, and it's all the exact same as WWE, as some people say, I find that hard to believe, and maybe even near impossible, the more that I question and think about it, that all the players themselves are all in on it, and they're all just actors because a number here matches up with this word, or a number here matches up with this team winning. And of course, you're always going to have a player here or there who gets caught and who gets paid trying to rig games or throw games. And of course, once again, all these leagues are entertainment leagues, legally speaking. But that doesn't mean like it's all scripted necessarily. It does mean that like they are trying to make as much money as possible so they can manipulate games in order to get the teams that like they want in the Super Bowl or in the finals. And because of this legally, you're not allowed to sue the league for suspicions of rigging or fixing games. And also this past week, when it came to the Chiefs versus Bills game, and yes, I know I was someone who predicted like the Bills were going to win the Super Bowl, and I still believe the Bills are the best team in the NFL and should have won the Super Bowl. But when you like 4 calls blatantly going the Chiefs' way, whether it was the Josh Allen first down, whether it was the catch/interception that hit the ground, I mean, and then on top of that, you've Josh Allen calling out holding on the Chiefs on one play. And on the very last play of the game, I've been seeing some people online talking about this like wild conspiracy, which is that the refs actually did throw a flag in case the Bills actually got the first down, but then of course they picked it up once Kincaid dropped the ball. And then the announcers on TV tried to brush it off as if like the flag never came out, never happened. Now regardless of any of that, it's still a lot of fun to watch, I think. So once again, be aware of every agenda, but this doesn't mean that like you can never watch football or never watch sports again, and that you just have to sit around all day living in fear of the boogeyman.
As if he were the boogity man?
Boogeyman.
And furthermore, when it comes to all the people who are claiming the numerology matched up with this word or with this team over the past several weeks, I heard plenty of people who were saying the Lions were going to win because of the numerology. I heard people saying the Commanders were going to win, and it was going to be Chiefs versus Commanders because Commander-in-Chief. So I heard all these people who were claiming like the numerology matched up with this team or that team, but in so many cases that didn't happen. And I don't think it takes numerology necessarily to indicate that like the NFL is going to favor the Chiefs.
Welcome back, Captain Obvious.
Now once again, there was a period of time where I was fully on board with some of these people. The ones who were saying the whole world and everything in it is all scripted. And of course, I am and will continue to question everything. And in a lot of these cases, this is true and there's merit to this, especially when it comes like, to big world events. But I also don't buy into it as much as I did before, because it's like when you first see people pointing this out and pointing out numerology like this word means this, and these people who were able to go back and point out why this team won because of numerology, or this many points were scored, or why this happened. Once again, world events, yes, or at least most world events. But initially, you're like, wow, this is amazing. It all adds up, this makes perfect sense. But after some time, you start to see how a lot of these people are getting the majority of their predictions wrong.
Then I was way off!
And I have yet to see someone do this accurately, above around like 50% accuracy. But yet these people are always going to find a way to justify it. Oh, they were on to us, that's why this team didn't win, etc., etc. So all I'm saying is take a step back, and it's okay to enjoy life. Don't let these people tell you like that everything is a distraction and life sucks. Don't believe these people. Because life is amazing, you can bring your intentions into everything, even if there is like a bad agenda behind it. You can and should acknowledge valuable questions from people, but remember not to blindly follow anyone just because it sounds good, or it sounds like this person saying something secretive like no one else knows. Now, are there other agendas at play, such as distracting everyone with the whole bread and circuses? Of course, because a lot of people are going to idolize athletes or celebrities when their own life isn't in a good place, and they aren't working on themselves or going after their dreams, of course. But my issue is with the people who try to suck the fun and suck the life out of everything.
I'll just suck the fun out of everything.
Whereas I see it, if we balance out enjoying some football with also doing what we have to do, I don't see the problem in that. So once again, some things up here, there is an argument to be made for rigging, and I do think we should be questioning this and calling it out. But this idea that like it's all an act, I'm sorry, I just don't see it, or at least not in every game. So be careful with trusting people who are willing to reach for every conclusion and to make their point made, because, as Joel Raffiti said recently, the truth should be self-evident, not esoteric and elusive. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys think it's always a big act, or are you more on board with what I'm saying, which is how it's manipulated, it's heavily favored to help out certain teams, but the players themselves like aren't all in on it? I'm not sure. Once again, I question everything, but like, there's no need to take the fun and suck the life out of every situation. And I have 2 clips talking about that game. First up, we have one that shows how the flag disappeared after Dalton Kincaid missed that catch.
Season for Buffalo on the line. Here they come. He just desperately throws it up in the air and complete. Kincaid was right there. There is a flag. say flag thrown there. Told there's a flag. I know, but this is Spagnuolo pretended to not blitz. Safeties are back, and he sends a corner blitz. And it comes free.
That's wild. A disappearing flag conspiracy? I'm not sure, but like, I do think it adds up with everything else that the refs doing to favor the Chiefs. And next up we have comedian Bill Burr talking about the AFC Championship.
I don't think it's fixed. I think it's massaged. There's definitely more back rubs on one side.
Watching at home, part of you, Bill Burr, thinks that when Allen's step into the line of scrimmage on a 4th down and short, and he's called and he's barely making it to the line of scrimmage, just a little past it. Maybe he's got the first down, maybe he doesn't.
And maybe one guy says it is a first down and the other guy says it isn't. You know which way it's going to go.
Somebody sitting there going, here's my chance to get that massage? Like, is that what you're saying? Because again, that's. I
just think, where is the money? Like, come on, man. They got all the stars. They got Taylor Swift. I mean, that's going to be a lot. Like, it's a business. Why are they called an entertainment league?
They're a sports league, but it is entertainment in this day and age.
If you're called an entertainment league,
yes,
and a game is proven to be fixed, when I've read, you cannot be tried because it's entertainment.
So you don't think the Chiefs are as good as they really are?
I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying that it's a business.
You've got Chiefs fatigue. That's what you've got.
What?
You got a little bit of the Chiefs fatigue. You're tired of watching them win.
Okay, you're a company man. I get it. Because you know what it is? Rich Eisen in the green room is not Rich Eisen behind this desk.
What are you talking about?
So, all valid points, but like, once again, you can still have fun and you can still enjoy watching it, regardless of what it actually is. But I lean towards rigged and manipulated or massaged, not just like a total acting job. Next up, we have a super powerful A.J. Brown clip, which actually doesn't have to do with A.J. Brown, but like actually has to do with the author whose book A.J. Brown was reading, and how this book went viral 5 years after it came out. Let's watch together.
I don't realize how drastically A.J. Brown changed this author's life since reading his book on the sidelines Sunday. Before the game, before A.J. Brown was seen with the book, it was ranked at number 552,000 on Amazon's bestsellers list. The author, Jim Murphy, published it back in 2020 and ended up $90,000 in debt. After one of the world's best wide receivers was seen reading on the sidelines to lock in and get his mind right, sales of the book started to spike. It's up 53 million%, and it's number 1 on Amazon's list. Yeah, this ranking change happened in about 12 hours. 552,000 to number 1. Yeah, good for Jim Murphy. His life has now changed forever. And what's funny is he said he wasn't even watching the game when it happens. All of a sudden his phone starts blowing up and he's like, what's going on? Wakes up Monday morning. He's got the top book on Amazon. The influence of athletes. It is crazy.
Now I see this as a powerful reminder that success could happen at any time, and that's why you may be closer than you realize, and that's why you can't give up. Just do the thing. Write the book, put it out there. Make the video, make that post, film the podcast, because you never know what may happen. It may be 5 years from now, as what happened in this author's case, but I believe that like if you make something of value and you're trying to help people and you're putting out something good into the world, I believe eventually it will find the people who it's meant to, and God and the universe are going to take care of the rest. So A.J. Brown, what do you say? Do you want to read my book, fight through it on the sidelines next game? Can we help this book blow up?
Please.
I'd appreciate it. Next up, we have a post from someone who follows me and who I obviously started following as well. His TikTok handle is called Big Fella, I think. Maybe Biggest Fella? Not sure exactly what it is, but it's the Biggest Fella. Really cool guy. He has a great perspective on life.
The reason you feel like the world is against you is because you're wearing the wrong set of glasses. Okay, I want you to look at the 3D blue and red glasses that we all grew up with at like movie theaters and stuff. Okay, what you're choosing to do is look at the red parts of life through the red lenses. Okay, the red representing negativity, bad luck, depression, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you're only ever seeing that stuff. You're only ever seeing the bad and feeling the hopelessness and anxiety because that's all that you're looking for. It's what your brain is accustomed to looking for. You're only looking for the red things out in your life because you're wearing your red glasses. If you started looking through the blue lens, you would see that how much opportunity is truly out there. The world is perfectly balanced wherever you live, unless you're living in like California because they're on fire right now, or a war-torn area. That's a little bit of a different story. But in normal day-to-day society, the universe is in balance. There's just as much good as there is bad in your day-to-day life. But all you're choosing to see is the negative. If you put on your blue colored glasses and look through the lens of the world in a blue lens, you'll see the blue. You'll see the opportunity. You'll see the old lady walking her dog, and that's what they do every single morning for their better health. You'll hear a productive business conversation that you can chime in on and maybe get an opportunity from. You'll see a job application through somebody that you know. You'll see the kid hitting his first ever PR at the gym. That's the blue stuff in life that you're not choosing to see, but it's right in front of you. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. If you're walking out into the world every day with a negative mindset, you're going to see nothing but negativity because that's what your brain is trained to do. If you are searching for positivity, constantly looking at the glass half full, never letting your spirits get down, focusing on what you can control, you will see more of that in your fucking life. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. The world is a mirror. Start looking through your blue lensed glasses and watch your life change.
Very well said, brother. I appreciate your support as well. So I have to give you the shout out here. So this post is exactly on my wavelength. This is what I'm always talking about too. Whether in my life or in my content even, there's two ways to do it. I can talk about everything that's wrong with the world.
This whole universe is against me.
And I can be constantly searching for everything that's wrong with the world, because you will find it, as there's always something you can be complaining about or something you can be pointing out, and there's a time and place to be exposing the darkness, but to give all your energy to that, when there's so many great things happening simultaneously, whether in my life or out in the world, why would I not want to focus on those things and be grateful for those? So a lot of that is actually your own choosing. Next up, I have two powerful Big Sean clips, one from when he went on Jay Shetty's podcast, and another from when he went on Lewis Howe's podcast. A ton of wisdom in these. First, we have why he stopped worrying.
So life has taught me is to never worry. No matter what, you're going to be fine. I think one of my biggest fears used to be like, what if I lose everything, right? And what if I have to go back to growing up in Detroit in the hood, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, well, I was happy there too. Like, I shouldn't be scared to lose any of this stuff because this stuff is conditional. And it's like, I'm gonna be good wherever I'm at. I remember when I talked to Side Guru, I was like, where's your favorite place in the world? He's like, wherever I'm at. Yeah. And I was like, damn, you never have to worry. You could be fueled, you could let something inspire you to be greater, you could let something light a fire under you, but like, don't ever worry because you have what it takes to get to wherever you gotta get to.
So, extremely powerful and so well said here, because knowing that you're strong enough and you're resilient enough to be good no matter where you are is actually way better than needing everything to be perfect and needing all your circumstances to be perfect. So like, I've actually had this fear myself of ending up back in the hospital, especially because of my whole life-threatening illness, where the whole acute phase happened in 2014, and I was in 4 different hospitals over a span of 6 weeks. But like, what that whole experience has shown me, and by me being able to overcome everything, and to be happy no matter where I'm at, no matter where I'm at in my life, to always be able to find things to smile about, and to be grateful for, what that shows me is that even if the worst case scenario happens, whether to me or to any of you, knowing that you're strong enough to overcome it once again, or to overcome it the first time, it's a reminder that like, worrying about it is going to be taking away today's pleasure and today's happiness, when you know that you're strong enough to overcome anything, and you can do it with a smile on your face. So focus on being more resilient and knowing that you can overcome anything, as opposed to worrying about what if this happens or what if that happens, and what if I can't handle that. Because if you're here and you're living right now, you've overcome 100% of the battles in the past. So what's stopping you from being able to do that again? And finally in this episode, I have another powerful Big Sean clip from when he went on Lewis Howe's podcast, which has to do with continuing to trust in his manifestations.
How did you learn to trust in the universe that you would manifest something when there's nothing happening for years? How did you continue to trust the invisible bridge that would take you from where you are to where you want to be?
You can't trust everything you see, but you can trust everything you feel. It's one of those things where I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I think that's one of the things we don't have to worry about all the time is the how. I think we get racked up on those details of like, how is it going to happen? How? But if you feel it, if you trust it, then you also have to let it out in the world and know that it's going to happen at the right time. You just got to prepare for it. So that's kind of like was always my mentality. And even like in my early music, like I do make like a lot of fun music, party music, but I always have a sense of like my essence of my spirit in some of those songs too. Like, you know, even songs like Bounce Back. I mean, one of my first songs was I'm Gonna Make $1,000,001. It was like still like manifestation, but it was like, yeah, it was like I was applying it to like my stuff, you know, but I also was just like having fun with it. But I think that's important too, to have fun with it.
How did you?
So this is what like, I'm always saying, to do your part, use your own free will to make the life of your dreams, but then like you actually have to allow God and the universe to take care of the rest. Nothing's gonna happen overnight, but like as long as you're feeling that dream, you can't get it out of your head no matter how hard you try. You have to go for it, and remember that like whatever's meant for you is gonna come your way at the right time though. You may think that like you're ready for it right now, you're ready for that success right now. I'm ready! But like God is actually preparing this incredible story for you for when the time is actually right. And as I'm pretty sure Big Sean actually said during another point in that episode, it wouldn't be in your consciousness, and you wouldn't be feeling it if it weren't possible. Think about it. If you could feel it coming true, that must mean like there is a path for it to happen. So anyways, guys, I believe you guys enjoyed this episode. I believe you guys found it inspiring, motivating, thought-provoking, etc. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment. I will catch you guys next time. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding, stay critical thinking. Catch you guys next time. Peace.